Alright, so down into the spooky dungeon here that looks kind of like the place that we explored in AC4. But yeah, either Leonidas or Zeus here. Increased Zeus is always possible. And yeah, AC has kind of gone down more of the mythological route in recent years, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it turned out to be Zeus. And yeah, but being related to Leonidas, yeah, it would be a good explanation for the amazing Sparta kick. Think of the Sonic Shadow Remaster remake? Never heard of it. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, this is maybe we're gonna go find the observatory.
Explain this to someone like Marcos.
You don't. But yeah, that's a lie. I have heard of it just because I went over, like, with a Sony Presents whatever the heck, the Sony, whatever their thing is called. I went through a list of, like, what's all the things announced, and I saw that was a thing announced, and I was like, hey, I don't know anything about this. I've never played a Sonic game in my life, apart from briefly Sonic Unleashed, and I thought it was ass, and I never played a Sonic game again. So I'm not really invested in anything Sonic related. Triangles. I have a triangle! Geometry!
Forge activated. Synchronizing retransmission chronicity. Contact engaged.
So, I know that Assassin's Creed basically abandoned the whole Juno plotline that it was building up to for a long time. They still keep on playing this First Civilization lore into a big part of the games, it seems like, but what direction is the story even going now if they abandon that other plotline? Are they building towards something else? Like, what's going on here? Maybe we'll find out.
The Forge.
I knew I let you stay in the Animus too long. Your vitals are crashing.
You don't understand. This confirms it. Cassandra didn't just have Isu technology. She had the means to improve it. Imagine how powerful the staff could be.
I admit,
The
that
staff?
could be an incredible find.
What's the
Right
staff?
now, I'm the doctor, and I take care of you. Now get some rest before you go back to Cassandra.
I hope there wasn't something earlier that I should have been paying more attention to. Yeah, I'll play some P3 Reload here in a little
You
bit.
insist.
And take a
but
break
only
from
because
Odyssey.
I've got work to do on the outside.
Please,
I mean, I
just
already
clear
took a little
your
bit of a
head.
break.
The last thing we need is a cell leader suffering from the
Been a
baby
little
effect
smidge
and
since
fearing
Janlan.
us because we're Hittites or Thracians.
I won't. The Thracians throw great parties.
Don't forget, we're a team.
And, like, what's the
Get back
importance
here
of our
until
new
you're
main
finished your
character gonna be?
investigation.
I know. Kyoshi secured the loft yesterday, and he's keeping an eye out. Elena's on call doing historical research.
Hopefully you're keeping
And
track
I'm
of how
gonna
much
talk to
draw you're
feeling
pulling from those
confusion
power
from
bars.
the Animus.
Always the therapist.
What do you think of the mission so far?
So, Doctor,
And how many
do you
dudes
feel
I've
now
been
that we're
stabbing?
closer than ever to the staff?
I believe this staff is important.
So I guess this is what the
Templars and
characters are
assassins
after?
found staves of Eden before. Nikolai Tesla blew one up in Russia, if I remember correctly.
This is different. If what I saw in Egypt is true, this staff doesn't control minds. It controls physics, time. Imagine rewriting the rules of the universe.
What I
The
saw in
spear you found
Egypt is
right
true.
here, and it's not doing anything.
Wait.
The spear's attached to a bloodline.
What was the context of
Leonidas,
a staff in
Cassandra, and
Origins
Thelos-
again?
I mean,
Did the,
Alexios. They were intimately connected to it.
Are you sure you can use the staff of Hermes then?
No. But
Did
if
the
Templars
final
let it, they won't
boss of
stop until they find
Origins use a
someone to kill.
staff? I don't even remember. I've been having too much fun with just, like, going around, like, screwing around in these games. Hold on. If I go to my playthroughs thingamabob, and I go to Origins, out of curiosity here, just like in Egypt, huh? Or whatever the heck. Hold on. Finale of the main game was here, and then it was... What did the big bad final boss use? I can turn on my thingamabob again here. But yeah, the guy, he used... Where was the final boss? Oh, was this just all my review? This is like the battle here, I think. Hold on. I don't remember. People love you, Caesar, you're a god. And then... I fought this guy? I remember fighting some guy in a temple. This is what I remember. Was that... Okay, yeah, this was the thing with Aya. And then it was... Maybe that was just like a little post-game epilogue thing? Because, yeah, this is probably all just review here. So was the final boss, like, the final wing? Was it this? That sounds like a final boss-like thing. Did they wield a staff? Where was the part where I fought a guy in a... I fought this guy. That was what I remember. And he was using, like, crazy magic stuff here. I don't remember him using a staff. It's been a hot second. It's been, like, a year. But still. But, yeah. And hello, Steelers. I no need to apologize about, like, not being around streaming to streams. Like, people can spend their time doing whatever the heck they want. Any time, like, being spent in the stream here is time that can be being spent doing literally anything else. So, like, spending any time here is alright more than I can ever ask for. And I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully things are going alright. Present time plot is honestly the weakest part. Yeah, that's what everyone kind of says about Assassin's Creed a whole lot. Like the map path theory that the modern AC was continuing in Watch Dogs. Sorta. And then, like, Watch Dogs' story went all over the place. Watch Dogs had a story in Watch Dogs 1, and then in Watch Dogs 2, they're just like, hey, here's, like, sort of a story going on while we have all these missions that make different arguments about the world, which is kind of fascinating. And then 3 tried to continue that, but worse, is what it felt like. That was my impression, at least. Hold on, what did this guy use? Was there a staff in a later DLC? Think I can't see you skulking in the shadows, Bayek of Siwa. Yeah, he just had an apple. That's what I thought. But, like, hold on. Assassin's Creed Origins staff. What is being referred to here? Staff, Assassin's Creed Wiki. Oh, gross, it's a fandom thing, whatever. A staff, staves, was a relatively long, straight rod commonly fashioned from wood. That's not what I want to know! Damn you! Wait, hold on, staff of knowledge. This was the one that was just mentioned, I think, right? Probably. That cool looking thing, Piece of Eden staff. Get out of here. Get out of here, go! Also known as the Staff of Hermes or Caduceus isn't that what it was referred to in, like, Fire Emblem 3 Houses? Like, there was a Caduceus staff. Extremely powerful piece of Eden created by the Isu philosopher Hermes, yada yada, from its creation. Was there a thing? Yeah, spoilers, but, like, we figured that would probably be the case. But, like, what's this about Origins? Ceremonial staff Origins? Probably not that. Legendary staff? What do you mean if what I saw in Egypt was the case? What am I missing here? Like, I remember that we dealt with that one piece of Eden. What did we deal with in the 2 DLCs afterwards? I don't even remember. Caduceus is the symbol of Hermes. Ah, so that'd be fitting there. And this theory was out before Legion was out. Okay, that makes more sense then. But, like, what is being referred to here? Was I just not paying enough attention during the story of Origins? Like, what's going on here? And then here's a bunch of missions in DLC 2, the hidden ones. What did we, what was this one? This is finale of DLC 1. So, like, what did I face at the end here? Follow Amunet to the rebel camp. And then for the final boss, it was like this guy, something or other. Oh, they had the much bigger health bars in Origins. And I had the much tinier health bar. But he wasn't using like a piece of Eden or anything, I don't think. What about the final DLC? Final DLC was this one, and I just did like some bosses and stuff like that. Hold on. What the heck did I face here? What was going on with this? Oh, I fought this guy, but like, I don't think there was a staff involved, was there? Maybe it's just... Yeah, that was an apple again. I don't know what is being talked about like some staff here. I don't understand. I'm very confused right now, honestly. like maybe there was just some hint that guided her towards the next thing is in ancient Greece, and it's something to do with this staff that they're looking. I don't know. I'm not following, but
So, what do you think of my new animus?
maybe that's just what happens in Assassin's Creed. I don't know.
That's Abstergo equipment.
Which I've modified to within a millimeter of its digital life. It's an Animus console prototype Ramen variant with the.
This part I remember about Origins, where it's like she did a lot of the design and then didn't get credit, and now she's like trying to prove herself to Abstergo, but the assassins are kind of interested in recruiting her. It sounds like no. Hold on.
So, Doctor, how do you feel now that
Hold
we're
on.
closer than ever to the staff?
Hold on. Let me. Staff is important. Concepts of Eden. Yeah.
This is different.
If what I saw in Egypt is true.
This staff doesn't control minds. It controls physics.
When did this happen?
Imagine rewriting the rules of the universe.
Was I just not paying enough attention? Like during Origins or something? I don't remember a staff. It doesn't just control minds. It can control like time and stuff. Because it looks like there was 2 apples, but not a staff. Unless one of the apples was like put on a staff or something. I don't know.
Membership costs too much.
I am just very confused right now. But I'll just keep playing and see what happens. Interact.
Eagles are fine and all, but a pet monkey would be even cooler.
Oh, it wouldn't. Whoa, that was weird.
The center of the universe, circa 400 BCE.
Yeah, the map that we're playing on. Oh, should we get lore here? When I did this in Origins, I spent like forever going through this. Sure, I guess. The Quebec Keeper. If I do this, I'm gonna be here like forever, but whatever. Let's try to piece together what the hell is going on here. I'm in. How do you manage that? Let's just say I left a crypto key under the doormat in case Abstergo escorted me out. Was your hunch right? Yep, just in time. They have a location, Notre Dame de Quebec, but can't find the relic. I'm sure it must be there. Because they don't have a Catholic on their team like you do. No way, Quebec City, here we come. Yeah, maybe I can figure out what's actually happening here. How far did you get so far in this? I don't actually understand the question. How I got this far was by playing? And are you asking like how far I am? In which case I don't know like story-wise, but I'm level 18. Subject potential descendant. Recollects those who possess the ability of recollection. 15th century order of Franciscan monks. 1614 King Louis XIII requested that Samuel de Champlain, however the heck it's pronounced. I've seen the name before, but like take a selection of recollects to Canada. Order was abruptly disbanded upon return to France. Operative redacted. Tracing bloodline redacted. Gets it to him, brother yet? Yes, but it's probably best not to ask questions like that in case I didn't, because that's also like very spoilery. But yes, I have. So not spoilers in this case, but if I hadn't, I would have been like, wait, what? Recollect friars, Father Denny Yamay, these people. Oh, too bad that guy drowned in 1925. Location, Cathedral Basilica of Notre Dame de Quebec. 4 centuries of treasures and archives here. 900 people buried under the cathedral. Excavation uncovered hidden relics. Operative summary, search of Cathedral Basilica of Notre Dame de Quebec. Target item not found. Were they looking for the staff? Operative update, September 5th, 2017. This game came out 2018, right? So that in the context of that would have been like the year before. They just have the location under surveillance, awaiting new intel. That's where you got stuck at? Had trouble with the mission there, or... let's see here. Cathedral Basilica Notre Dame de Quebec. Architectural masterpiece, 1633, historical landmark, and blood repository. Oh, also, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even realize there was something called the Notre Dame in Quebec. I knew about, obviously, the main Notre Dame, but, Kiyoshi. Area clears. Slipped first responder money. Nice work. Media's got their story. Managed to get the gold paint off, Kay? Pain isn't bother, it's the ringing in my ears. Can't believe you pulled that off. If you can't believe in a golden Hiyoshi angel flying overhead, what can you believe in? What? Audio.
Un cambriolage a eu lieu à la basilique cathédrale Notre-Dame de Québec. Les dégâts au bâtiment historique sont minimes.
Should I read it out? It's technically voiced, but in another language.
Rapporte que les malfaiteurs sont partis en laissant derrière la cible du vol.
Oh, I guess that's the whole thing. It'd be nice if there was like a runtime thing so I could tell for sure that I'm at the end. Alright, so that was the Quebec Caper. Cool. Reality as a simulation. The dreaded French. I know, right? Here in Canada, we try not to think about Quebec too much. March 30th, 2018. real early in the morning. Took a deep dive into theories about our reality being a simulation, ended up on the weird end of the internet. Isn't that like all of the internet? I'm just gathering information at this point. Not all that I have found has been useful. It's hard to imagine the world we know being another layer of the Animus, but makes sense in its own way. What if we're all in the Animus? Well, yeah. 10 religious artifacts with supernatural powers. You won't believe number 7. Chilling top 10s. Miracles, just how real are they? These relics all have some kind of story attached to them. Good, bad, or divine. Don't forget to subscribe for more lists like this. Follow our social media for new lists and updates every day. Buy some merch. Relics, saints, top 10s, boobs, funny, fail compilation. Come on, cool video. Check out my channel. Comment to IMB4, no holy grail. Wow, that sounds like a great video right there. Also, they're not even watching the video. If this is meant to be a platform like YouTube, the yellow implies that this is an ad before the video. Also, how are you like 30% into the video and you're still on number 10? Like, what a garbage content creator. Out of French Canadian descent, you will make fun of the French. So it's more allowed in your case. I'm not quite as allowed, but a lot of people here still do it. GSVB, Ziv, whatever the heck. The question mark, Secret Science Investigations. Number 39, Ancient Greece. Secrets of Ancient Greece revealed. Atlantis. Where did it sink? And can satellite photos help us find it? Don't miss. Was Herodotus an Illuminati puppet? Hercules, man or myth, did demigods walk the earth? Three-headed dogs, the Russian following in Demikov's footsteps. Eustace, Pythagoras, what did he know? Did he know about 3 sides or maybe more? The founder of the popular theorem also believed that numbers were the key to unlocking the universe. Also, when it comes to Atlantis, where did it sink? And can satellite photos help us find it? That whole thing where Bob there. I know that that's going to come up later in the game because I know that one of the DLCs of this game is straight up called The Fate of Atlantis. I think that was the last DLC released for this game. And it's what the title screen art is literally stuck on like forever now. Despite the fact that we're not going to get to that for like quite a while. But yeah. I mean, not wrong there. So fine, you did a reality-defying, you get a reality-defying artifact in AC and still lose to a strap knife? Wait, just saying like the various Templars and stuff like that still get stabbed despite their crazy piece of meat and stuff. Simulation theory. Hey, where hive mind? I was in Egypt recently and out with some friends when the topic of reality and simulation came up. It's a bit tinfoil hat, but an interesting theory. Does anyone have any academic resources on this? Here's an article about that, like, written 2 years ago. You might want to read up on Hans Moravec. Oh, I know Moravec's work from some studies I looked into on AI and transhumanism. I didn't know he had theories related to reality and being on a simulation. I actually need to start looking into some papers, like some publications on AI and serious games to be able to cite related work on the research project game that I'm doing that will have like an actual paper published on it. Hopefully by the end of the semester here, maybe a little bit later. We'll see what the timeline ends up looking like there. That was the task that my research supervisor gave to me for this week is like, yeah, start looking into this kind of stuff, find related things that are similar to what we're doing so that we can cite related work. He's a science guy working on it. If you want a philosopher, I'd check out Nick Bostrom. On April Fools. Ah, damn it. Sometimes I think I'm living in a simulation. I'll set things down and they'll move on their own. Sometimes I think I can see holes in my walls that just go to nowhere. You mean windows? Is your house made of Swiss cheese? Alright, wow. Reality simulation. That was pretty cool. But yeah, all you're getting from this is that everyone part of the present day storyline is batshit insane. Yeah, I don't know if I'm really piecing together the active storyline that's going on here. I think that might be the best deduction here. Whoa, look at this handsome guy right here. From Texas, USA. Whoa, from the same place I'm from. Speaks English, Italian. Fiji, hand-to-hand and firearm skills. Undercover potential high. Tourist, art dealer, Vatican. Not this time. Off duty for personal reasons. So these are candidates for a team that's being put together here. From Boston, USA. Speaks English, Latin, Ancient Greek, Sanskrit. I shouldn't laugh, it's rude. But... historian, rugby player. I guess that's his scar from like rugby or like a bruise. Not a scar. Combat aptitude not yet evaluated. Expertise on ancient documents and church construction could be valuable. Not yet, still in training. Next time. Candidate 3. Whoa, he looks like a badass. From Osaka, Japan. Speaks Japanese, English. VG hand-to-hand, bladed weapon, and firearms skills. A former Yakuza. He looks like an anime protagonist straight up. Undercover potential with cooking gastronomic skills. Guest chef for Quebec City restaurant or food festival. Yes, but make sure he doesn't overwork himself off a recent tough mission. Like, look, if you're wielding a sword in the modern day, that's anime protagonist stuff right there. I mean, I have a training sword, but that's not the same. Like, actually using a sword in the modern day. Fictional Yakuza tend to look like anime protagonists. Yeah, that makes sense. From Quebec, Canada, speaks French, English, MD Psychiatry, PhD in neuropsychiatry, specialized in neural system approach to emotional memory function, personality structure, and psychopathology. Left Abstergo after the Ascendance event. Ah, we all remember the Ascendance event. That dark times, huh? Recruited by William Miles for unprecedented expertise. Assigned a mission. Remember, if you kill her, then you'll be unemployed. Okay. Recruited by William Miles. That's Desmond's dear old dad. Like, who's so terrifying? Yeah. Like, I know that media very much likes to... What's the, word? Romanticize them is probably the best way to put it. But in real life, yeah. And double irony, the modern assassin has a wealth of knowledge and wacky weapons and still lose the Templar store-bought assault rifle. Yeah, I mean, what's a blade gonna do to a gun? Packing for Greece. MS console prototype variant, accessing extrapolated data reconstruction, subject descendant of Leonidas. Okay, yeah. I love how I was predicting, like, this is probably the case. And then the one cutscene just immediately said, yeah, that's the case. Now the whole game is like, yep. That's an estimated accuracy 76.3%. I like those odds. VB, are you comfortable with that rate of accuracy? LH, we're using centuries-old text to supplement the DNA memory from centuries-old blood. Hopefully the gaps will overlap. Understood. Berg has a problem with simulations rated below 80%. Berg has a lot of problems. So yeah, that's referring to Otso Berg. I remember that name because that's been a lot of Assassin's Creed games. And I still don't know, like, how or why he's important. I just know that he's some head honcho important guy at Abstergo. Greece, officially Hellenic Republic, historically Hellas. First signs of human ancestors, 270,000 BCE. Earliest civilization, 3200 BC. Independence from Ottoman Empire declared 1821. Joined European communities, now European Union, 1981. Successfully part of the Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, Venetian territory, then Ottoman Empire. Mountainous countryside with Mediterranean climate, called the birthplace of Western culture by historians. Interesting. But yeah, that's because murder via sword is more interesting than gun. Yeah, it's flashier, it's cooler, as opposed to just, like, shoot things. I mean, you can do some cool things with guns in media, but, like, swords are cooler. Herodotus and his work. Herodotus called the father of history. Influential family, Herodotus was himself forced to go into exile in Samos, but then took part in the coup that overthrew Lygdamis. Studied and wrote history/travel books, gave public lectures, gained fame and drachmae. The greatest work was his history, relies on interviews rather than records, which generally didn't exist anyway. Accuracy disputed, but influence undeniable. His work is credited with saving a massive and valuable information on archaic and early classical Greece. His work is methodical. I don't know why I struggle to pronounce words like this sometimes, and extensive. Nor about Greece and surrounding areas. He traveled the Black Sea, visited the Scythians, and lived in Egypt for months. His books were like travel guides to the ancient world. True, though some of his work on non-Greek cultures was specious. Specious? Specious?
Specious.
Specious. Thanks, Google. Superficially plausible, but actually wrong. Misleading in appearance, especially misleadingly attractive. Okay. You learn something new every day. I mean, there wasn't a tribe of cannibals in India who threw feasts with their deceased friends as both guests of honor and the main course? I'll say a hard no to that. Let's hope his lost book doesn't include that kind of cultural glitch. From what I've been able to interpret so far, he does mention a group of ancient geniuses who sound suspiciously like the Isu. His lost book is supposed to contain the story of a heretofore unknown hero who is a descendant of Leonidas I of Sparta. And we know the Spear of Leonidas is an Isu artifact. Yeah, figured that. Leave it to the father of history to connect the dots. Spear of Leonidas. Rumored to be a powerful and deadly hand-to-hand weapon. Isu technology capable of multiple improvements. unpredictable mental effects, genetic memory storage, passed down from Leonidas the First to his grandchild. Okay, so yeah, grandchild with Cassandra there is the case. I don't know why you don't just turn it into an actual spear again. Like, just attach it to a long stick. Obviously not that easy, but you know what I mean. I don't know what the word for it is. Just handle? In the context of a spear? Like, I don't know. Isu architecture. So the Isu, aka precursors, or those who came before, they're humanoid and they're ancient. They have triple helix DNA and 6 primary senses. The Isu say they created Homo sapiens to serve them, and who knows if they're wrong. Abstergo classifies them as Homo sapiens divinus. Divinus, I don't know, though they waffle on whether they're gods or not. Sometimes individual Isu say they aren't, but usually they act like they are. They like to give themselves god names anyway. Or unless people just were like, I mean, the way that it would go in Assassin's Creed lore is the way that realistically is people would see these figures that are like these beings that seem to be so much greater than them and be like, they are gods, and then rather than them giving themselves names that were off the gods, it was probably humans coming up with this later, like, oh, they were gods and these were their names, so therefore that's the name of the gods. Wouldn't that make more sense realistically? But whatever. Wait, weren't the ancient gods named after them? Oh, it's getting into that right here. Sort of a chicken and egg situation. We know that the Isu had other names before they took on the ones we know, like Juno was also called Uni. And just to check, Alethi is not a goddess name, is it? Got it, boss. It literally means truth. But if you ask Heidegger, well, not literally, he's dead. It means a disclosure of truth. He dedicated huge chunks of philosophy to defining exactly what that meant. What's a short version? Aletheia is unconcealedness, as opposed to correspondence, which is truth as accurate definitions of reality, or coherence, which is truth as statements that are consistent with the rest of reality. Okay, I think I'll leave the philosophy to you while I handle tech. Deal, works for me. What time is it? It's 9:15 right now. Apparently, P3R is at 10. Capitoline Isu. So, the next thing to realize is that there's Isu, and then there's Isu. Oh, ISU, and then there's Isu. The main movers and shakers were the Capitoline Triad, Jupiter, Minerva, and Juno. Yeah, main ones that we saw in, like, the original games. Those three were scientists who formed a team to save the world from being destroyed by a solar flare. They were like superheroes with ulterior motives. Jupiter and Minerva appeared to sympathize with humans, but really only seemed to make a move after the Toba catastrophe nearly snuffed us out. I don't know what the Toba catastrophe is. Juno was in it for the Isu, but mostly for herself. One of those world-saving solutions was the eye that killed Desmond, wasn't it? Exactly. It works short-term, but long-term seems more iffy. Are they still going to go on? Is this plotline actually going to continue then? If they're saying like it works short-term, but long-term seems more iffy? If iffy is a word you can use when we're talking about the end of the world as we know it. Because the whole thing is like it released Juno and she's going to do like some big evil thing. And then they were like, you know, we're actually not going to do that. And we're going to resolve it in like the most lazy way imaginable in like some short graphic novel series. Where apparently like Desmond, like apparently there was a graphic novel series that released where it's like, oh, turns out Desmond, he actually had a son and he's going to go on to stop Juno. And Juno is like part of these technology AI systems. She spread herself across the internet and has like full control over all these things. And then she gives herself a physical form and isolates herself just to that. And then she gets assassinated like 5 minutes after doing that is apparently what happens in the graphic novels from what I've heard. So I don't know what is going on then if they're saying like it works short term but long term seems more iffy with the whole Juno being released thing. Like, was the graphic novel just like a for fun thing? Was it not canon? Are they going to do something with it later? What is even going on in the modern story in Assassin's Creed anymore? Does anyone know? Aletheia did seem to imply that reality was shifting or that multiple realities were shifting as calculations were made. I thought you were leaving me the philosophy. Let's see here. Juno. So one of the most powerful Isu was Juno. That was meant to be like the big bad of Assassin's Creed, but like it makes you wonder, like, is she anymore? Is there a big bad to Assassin's Creed anymore? She raised an army of followers trying to help her and her husband Isa get bodies. She wanted to move out of the gray, or a virtual existence in some kind of spiritual tech hybrid afterlife. And the Phoenix Project was going to do just that. The plan was so dangerous that neither the Assassins nor Templars could take it on alone. So we teamed up for a while. Layla, I heard about your colleague Charlotte de la Cruz. I'm sorry. So am I. Who the heck is... Weird question. I know Mr. Berg used some special explosives to make sure there wasn't any DNA left. Is this the plot of the graphic novel thing then? But wouldn't there be some trace of the Koh-i-Noor? I mean, you'd think some shards of such a powerful artifact would have survived. Lena, when Berg blows something up, he blows it up with extreme prejudice. That site is sterilized. So another weird question. How did Kiyoshi, Galena, and Arend get away then? Who the... I know Kiyoshi was mentioned in like some chat log earlier here, but have they been like a character in Assassin's Creed for a little bit longer? Too soon, Elena, too soon. So is this talking about like, was there some explosion in like the graphic novel and that saying like she's dead now? Should I just look this up? All right, where's that browser that I had before? It was here. So Assassin's Creed Juno. Yeah, Juno death is a common thing looked up here. Juno finally gets a new body. Elijah, that's a guy's name, betrays her, killing Richmond on his own and helping an assassin named Charlotte de la Cruz to kill Juno with the iconic hymn. Okay, so the graphic novel series is canon, and they just kind of forget about that plotline being like, ah, it's resolved in this other thing. Okay, so this is just saying like that thing, whatever went on there is some canon thing, and that makes you question like, what's the point of the modern day plotline anymore? Like, what are they doing? Like, and honestly, in terms of storytelling, I think that there have been a lot of things storytelling wise that have pissed me off in like game stories. But I think if I had to choose one thing, it would be Assassin's Creed building up to like some big bad for over a decade and then just being like, let's just kind of hope our players forget about it and then resolve it in like a really lazy way in some graphic novel series and not even in the games that built it up for over a decade. So, yeah. Sly 4 is probably second most, because like you can still at least enjoy the trilogy as an isolated thing, because it was meant to end with the trilogy. Like the third game is meant to be the finale of the story and it ends very conclusively. And then like a whole new studio came in and was just like, oh yeah, all that character development, let's throw it all in the trash and make all the characters kind of contradict their past selves and stuff like that. You can just like remove Sly 4 from the equation and still have like an enjoyable trilogy. But with Assassin's Creed, you can't even do that because it's clearly building up over a long time where it's like all the way up until Assassin's Creed 3 is, here's the story of Desmond and how he saves the world, and then like during the credits, like it's shown that he dies and Juno's like, you played your part well, Desmond. Now it's time I played mine. And then Assassin's Creed 4, she's like, I'm part of this system in Abstergo. I'm gonna do something, but I'm not ready yet. And then in Assassin's Creed Unity, I don't remember. And then in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, she's like, listen up, everybody. I'm evil. I'm gonna do evil things. I'm getting ready to do stuff soon. And I think there might have been something like that as well in Unity. And then after that, forget about it. Nothing. There's all this buildup, and then nothing. It just nosedives off a cliff. There's nothing isolated to enjoy. Like, there's nothing conclusive that you can isolate and be like, the story's done. That's enjoyable. Nice. There just isn't. It just doesn't end, and then it just... So, yeah. That's my least favorite storytelling thing that ever happened in a video game, is the modern day story of Assassin's Creed. And then second most is probably Sly 4. So, yeah. Hermes. We don't know much about this Isu, except that he was one. The Greeks and Egyptians both worshipped him. His special followers call themselves Hermeticists. The god Hermes, particularly in the form of Hermes Trismegistus, was all about magic and alchemy, and his staff is the inspiration for the Caduceus. So this is the important staff here. In theory, he met Pythagoras and gave him his staff. If you catch my drift, it was ancient Greece. We're betting a lot on that, theory. Well, I guess it wasn't, this is like before ancient Greece, but you know what I mean. It's still funny to joke about. We're betting a lot on that theory. We've extrapolated that the staff is the key to the Isu equations of reality theory. Based on the information we got in Egypt, the Isu are convinced that understanding the mathematical rules of the universe is the basis to changing it. That was what we found out in Origins? I mean, I did play it like a year ago, but are you convinced? I'm convinced it might be true, and that's enough to make that staff very powerful and very, very dangerous. But yeah, for you, it's Detective Pikachu Returns. You read how bad it got you? Yeah, Detective Pikachu Returns. That... one could do, like, a very deep dive analysis about everything wrong with that story. Like, my goodness. And what's the most surprising thing about it is the story of Detective Pikachu, the way they did it in like the movie, was actually a good, enjoyable story. Like there was nothing really inherently wrong with it. It was like that's a good, solid story that can be enjoyed by like whatever audience. Like it was meant to be a family movie. It's not the kind of thing that's gonna be like, wow, it's an insane masterpiece or anything, but it was a good, enjoyable story. They could have literally just done that in the games and had it be good, but they had to do however you describe the thing that they actually did. Best math fact is the guy who discovered irrational numbers was murdered by math cultists for discovering irrational numbers. What? Alethea. So who is Alethea? That's a guess. I didn't record her using any pronouns. Called herself that. She has a grudge against the rest of the Isu for their godlier than thou attitude. The Isu unified front showed cracks before, like that time Minerva and Juno argued in front of Desmond, or when Consus reached through time to contact the assassins behind Juno's back. Was this a thing that happened in one of the earlier games? But this is a new level of insubordination. Fortunately for us, Alethea seems to be on humanity's side. Yeah, she reminds me of Martin Luther, nailing his 95 thesis to a church door. Maybe this is the start of the great Isu schism. You've got a knack for naming things, you know that? Thanks, boss. Besides, she's a hacker. I like her. Hacking? Is that what she was doing to the retransmissions? Sorry, I realize it's more my department than yours. You heard the voice changed, right? That's when the retransmission got hacked. Placed right under the other Isu's metaphorical nose. How do you think she did it? Good question. If you want to brute force the problem, try all the security protocols until you find one that works, assuming their programming worked the same. Then lock everyone else out so they can't undo your work. Or if you're analog, get a stronger transmitter Mexican radio style. Alethea's big advantage is having all the time in the world to find a solution. Like Consus, she seemed to be able to see multiple times at once and communicate across them, or multiple realities. I only wish I could do that kind of multitasking. If anyone could it be you, boss. But yeah, so are the Isu's Earth's gods? Because what the fuck is going on? So how it went in Assassin's Creed lore is that the Isu were this race of humanoid people that came before. They were the people before people, and they had like more advanced DNA. They were smarter. They were just better, and they had like all this advanced technology that they were the ones that made the pieces of Eden, the like god tier weapons and stuff like that that keep on coming up in Assassin's Creed games that they basically use to enslave humanity and be able to do like all these godlike miracles. And they created humanity as like inferior versions of them to be their slaves and just serve them. And then they realized a solar flare was coming, and they were like, "Oh shit!" And they kind of all died, and humans lived somehow. Like some humans that started gradually rebuilding. Don't know how that works exactly. And then they were trying to prevent the solar flare, and they made these temples to do so, and they couldn't do it in time. But these digital versions, I guess, completed the project, and that became the temple that we saw in Assassin's Creed 3, where it's like, Desmond, touch this and the world will be saved, but you die and Juno will be unleashed to do nothing, as it turns out, is the case. But yeah, so in Assassin's Creed lore, a lot of people will regard them as like gods and stuff like that, and read these histories and be like, oh, these were the gods and stuff like that, and attribute all these godlike names. But yeah, they were the better than humans before humans that got wiped out by a solar flare that, like, complete extinction that didn't for humans, interestingly enough. And I believe that they're the explanation for the hidden blade as well. Is like, because a lot of people have said, like, how would this be able to extend with enough force and stay out? And just be able to, like, the people have made hidden blades that will attach to your finger with, like, a ring, and then you can, like, pull this string, and then the hidden blade comes out, and then you pull it again, and it retracts. I might actually 3D print something like that one of these days. But the actual hidden blades in universe, where it's just, like, the blade knows when you want to extend it or retract it, or whatever the heck there. That's the explanation for the hidden blade as well, is that, yeah, it's an Isu design. They made it, because they are a lot smarter and stuff, and humans, that's one that humans can replicate, unlike the piece of Eden that they can't, and they're just scrambling over the piece of Eden that do exist, and sometimes in some of the stories it seems like they get destroyed, so... Oh my god! Do I really want to go through this to try and understand the story? You're incredibly tired of explaining gods as a superior mortal race. But yeah, that's the Assassin's Creed lore. I guess you could say it's Watch Dogs lore too, since it's the same universe. And Far Cry lore too, because I think it's the same universe there, but not really important in those stories. Our next assignment. So this would be like right after Origins, I guess. Dear Kiyoshi, you're a funny guy. I'm really glad this will help me put together the story right now. Dear Layla, Dr. Bibu contacted me. Sounds like we're in daycare. Kiyoshi. And Kiyoshi's like the badass anime protagonist, right? Read team effort. Dear Layla, your proposal could be acceptable so long as he is properly supervised and performs only light duties. So I've spoken with William and gotten his blessing to join your mission. I know I'm a recent addition to your group, but I lived in Quebec City for many years and I speak fluent French. Dr. Bibu. So am I still working for Abstergo? Am I working for the assassins if I'm working with like William Miles here and he's one of the assassins? Because I'm pretty sure we were still working for Abstergo in Origins and William Miles came to us and was like, hey, you should work for me instead, or whatever the heck happened there. Dear Dr. Bibu, I know you're in charge of his treatment, but Kiyoshi's really keen on staying busy, so it told me it might let him be my backup for my next mission. It's a really short gig, and I'll put him on desk duty as a researcher. I know Miles has a candidate, Elena, she sounds cool, but he's still getting her up to speed. Quebec City's safe as stone houses, and the trip will keep Kiyoshi out of trouble, you know? Double checking. I see, thank you, Kiyoshi. Dear Kiyoshi, don't tell anybody, but that was her nickname back at Abstergo. What was Kiyoshi? She was in charge of putting kids through some super secretive branch of the Animus program. Well, teenagers. It's not that weird. They have pliable brains. And really, if I'd known about the Animus when I was a teenager, I would have given my left arm and right cerebellum to get in there. Layla. Am I reading these in the wrong... I am reading these in the wrong order, aren't I? Because, yeah, I went yeah. And then looking at the timestamps. So I need to start at the... Yeah, I guess that's how inboxes work. I guess that's the realism here. Huh. Let's read them this way. Hi, Harlan. It's been a while. I tried to message you, but you've been offline. What's happening, my favorite sharp-dressed man? Hello, Layla. I'm sorry. There's been a lot going on. I just logged off to clear my head and focus on what's important. Don't worry. Hi, Harlan. What's wrong? Is it Arend? I just checked and he's offline, too. Please tell me you two are all right. Hello, Layla. I'm sure he'll be fine. He's been quiet since he got back from the Australia mission and fought all those kangaroos. The new doctor says it's normal. I took some time off to be with him. Found a website where I could order salted licorice and stroopwafels, so that's cheering him up. Harlan, Aaron's eating junk food and a doctor's watching him? And I just checked and nobody's finished their reports? What the hell happened in Australia? We don't talk about what happened in Australia. Well, Layla, I'll call you, okay? Okay. Yeah, they will. I remember there was this one clip that I saw at one point where it was from this guy skydiving. I guess he had like a GoPro or something on his forehead. And the caption of the video was, the real danger with skydiving in Australia is after you land on the ground. And this guy's skydiving and he lands and this kangaroo runs up to him and starts to like attack him and then runs off. Hello, Layla. So like I mentioned, the memorial service for Charlotte will be Thursday at 10. So this is like a character that died in that graphic novel series or something, is what I'm piecing together. If Galena calls you, please let her know. She left me 2 phone messages, but she didn't leave a number and I haven't been able to reach her. She might be self-medicating. Harlan. Hey, Harlan. It's okay. Let Galena have her bender. Remember that Aaron's appreciating all the care you're giving him, even if you can't express it right now. Keep being an angel, you. Question. Hello, Layla. Sorry for sidetracking you with your personal issues, but is there something you wanted to ask me? Did that graphic novel series take place in Australia, or is that something else? Hey, Arlen, don't worry. I was just going to ask if you wanted to join me on a mission in Canada, but I can do it myself. Hello, Layla. Have you been in touch with Kiyoshi? He was in Australia, too, and he's been asking for work. I'll call him. Dear Miss Hassan, I heard you might be seeking a team member. I'm available currently. That's Kiyoshi. Dear Mr. Takakura, can I call you Kiyoshi? Did I get your names in the right order? Hi, I heard the mission in Australia was very rough. I can't believe how you pulled off that escape. The 3 of you, I mean. I'm sorry. Are you sure you wouldn't rather take some time off like Arend and Galena? Is there other media that I'm expected to be on top of to understand like who these characters are and these missions that they've been on? Or is this just giving some background of here's some stuff that they've done? Because it seems like it's not really going into all that much detail. It just lightly references it, which implies that you get that information from somewhere else. Dear Layla, no need for time off. I'm ready for work. Kiyoshi. Dear Mrs. San, please let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Victoria Bibiu, and I've recently been brought on as a resource person by your group. I have no doubt that I'm butchering Bibiu. Mr. Kiyoshi Takakura is under my care. Of course, details are confidential. Please be aware that I do not recommend a return to active duty for my patient. Dear Dr. Bibiu, are you freaking kidding me? Dr. Bibiu of Abstergo's Airy project? What the heck is that? World's top expert on the bleeding effect? Is this some kind of Abstergo infiltration attempt? Because if so, this is not the Layla you're looking for. Layla, who definitely didn't leave Abstergo in a hail of gunfire and shredded files. Okay, so we are, like, working under William now, and I guess cool with the Assassins. Hold on. Assassin's Creed Abstergo Airy project. The Airy. Gross, it's another fandom page, but the Airy is an Abstergo Industries complex directed by Isaiah, which housed the lineage, and all these ads load and move all the text. I need to figure out where the heck I even am anymore. Which housed the Lineage Discovery and Acquisition Division. The facility was composed of 5 buildings linked to each other and surrounded by a large park. In 2016, after the Templars captured a team of teenagers using a stolen animus to find the Trident of Eden. There's a Trident? They were brought to the Airy. There, Isaiah and Dr. Victoria Bibiu tried to learn more about the group's discoveries. It looks like there's an image that looks like it came right out of a graphic novel, so I assume this had to do with the... Yeah, appearances. Assassin's Creed Last Descendants first appearance, Last Descendants Lotus, Last Descendants Tomb of the Khan, Last Descendants Fate of the Gods, Assassin's Creed Heresy, Assassin's Creed Odyssey mentioned in emails only. Is Last Descendants the graphic novel series? Assassin's Creed Last Descendants, or simply Last Descendants, is a young adult novel written by Matthew J. Kirby, the first installment in a series of novels. Wait, so is it not a graphic novel? I thought there was having a sequel. Hold on. It released in August 2016, having a sequel released in December 2016. Novel is in English, titled Assassin's Creed Last Descendants, The New York Draft Riots in Foreign Translations. First novel focuses on Owen. Okay, so I think the graphic novel, apparently... Well, I mean, there are also novels of actual Assassin's Creed games. I own some. I don't remember where they are. I could probably find them upstairs. I have the books for Assassin's Creed 1, the Ezio ones, 3 and 4. And I know that they made one at least for Unity. I don't know if they kept making ones. But I literally own the Assassin's Creed novels all the way up to Black Flag. That is literally just the story of the games, but in a novel format. The one that was a little bit different was AC3, since it kind of started with Hatham at a little bit of an earlier age before it got into the later stuff. So the AC3 book was a little bit different. I didn't realize that there was different original novels, honestly. Yeah, released 30th of August 2016. So I think there was the graphic novel that I remember hearing about. That was the thing with like Desmond's son that they lazily wrote in. That was meant to conclude the whole thing with Juno. And there's apparently also this Last Descendants novel series. That's a unique thing. Because again, I knew that they were making the novels that were just, here's the story of the games in a novel format. But I guess there's original novels now, and they're probably not doing... I wonder when the last time they did a novel just as the game story was. I know for sure it went up until at least Unity. Assassin's Creed Last Descendants Locus. Is this like the next one? Less simply known as Locus is a comic book miniseries. Wait, what? Hold on. So there's Last Descendants, which is a novel. There's Last Descendants Locus, which is here. I could show what I'm looking at here. Hold on a hot second here. Gonna head out, gonna attend to some things, be back in about 2 hours. Okie doke, we'll probably be playing some Persona 3 by then. Take care there, GMK. Hold on. So yeah, the Airy that is being referenced in the emails here is this apparently. I hate fandom so much. Maybe there's something better that I can find that, Animus Assassin's Creed page item. No, gosh dang it. Breeze wiki there. Yeah, so apparently the Airy is in Assassin's Creed Last Descendants, and this is young adult novel. It's a first installment in a series of novels. Okay, so what's the series? Last Descendants series. So it's Last Descendants, Tomb of the Khan, Fate of the Gods. Okay, so it's like a 3-fer thing. It's a series of young adult novels written by, the first installment released in August 2016, second book released in December 2016, and the third, Fate of the Gods, following in 2017. What month? The series focuses on a group of teenagers who, exploring the memories of their ancestors in the Animus, discover the existence of an ancient artifact called the Trident of Eden. Having caught the attention of both the Assassins and the Templars, they become entangled in the organization's millenary feud? Is that how that's pronounced? I hate fandom so much. Between the release of the first 2 novels, Titan Comics published a spin-off, Locus, a comic book miniseries with ties to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Why? So yeah, Locus here. No, I want to go to the thing for it. Assassin's Creed Last Ascent Locus, otherwise simply... I hate this so much. Otherwise simply known as Locus, is a comic book miniseries published by Titan Comics, a tie-in to the Last Ascendant's young adult book series, as well as a return to the Victorian era London setting of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yeah, this is literally the first that I'm hearing of this. Press release. Titan Comics are thrilled to announce an all-new Assassin's Creed miniseries launching in September. This 4-part comic series is penned by Eisner-nominated Yeah, arrives at stores then, yada yada, debut issue of Last Descendants. Okay. Last Descendants, Locus 1, Locus... Was there 4, or are these just the different chapters in this? Locus 2? What's that? Is this... Oh. Last Descendants, Locus. That's a cool cover, I will admit. Like, that's a cool art. Is a second issue of the Titan comic book series. Yeah, I will admit the cover art's cool. What does Locus 3 look like? Okay, that definitely has, like, the clear tie into Syndicate there. Like, we have Steric there. The guy that first inspired me to, like, grow the edges of my mustache here. Like, I had my mustache grown out before that point, but with how awesome his mustache was, I was like, I wonder if I could grow out, like, some handlebars, and if I ever got some gel, I could curl it. And I still haven't picked up any gel or anything. I've been, like, too lazy. But at some point, I should do it, because he was literally the guy that inspired me to grow out the edges to see if I could do it and become all British like him. Even just doing that. Like, I could semi-do it. And then there was damn, I forget his name. The guy that Evie kind of had an interest in. We don't have my main man Jacob on here? Are you kidding me? Sucks to suck. Okay. Descendants, Locus, and then Locus 4. Is that Evie there? Is that what that is? Looks kind of like. Yeah, and that's the weapon that would be one of the weapon types that you had the option to use. Yeah, I had no idea that they had a comic book series. I mean, I knew that they had that graphic novel series to resolve the Desmond Juno thing, but like, I guess you could sort of classify that as comics. But like, cover gallery? Oh, were there different covers? This is Creed series, Last Ascendants, Locus. Yeah, and this just looks like stuff that's tied into Syndicate. This is up to interpretation, but this is like clearly a Syndicate thing. Huh, well. I mean, honestly, on one hand, props to them for having so, like, pretty much every media that they put out under this IP all be canon and all be part of the overarching plotline. Props to them for that. Not props to them for using that as an excuse to resolve their main plotline in the laziest way imaginable. I'm always going to be salty about that. But yeah, apparently that's what the Aerie project is. Or where it's from. I don't even remember the context of what it was now. Now I'm like, wow. There's a lot of media of Assassin's Creed. Holy crap. Dr. Baby of the Abstergo's Aerie. Oh yeah, I guess I read this already. Let's see here. Yes, that's me. I assure you this is not a trap. It's a trap. Dear Mrs. San, I assure you I mean nothing of the sort. William Miles could update you if you require more proof of my current position. Sorry, I was making a joke. You know, it's a trap. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. A professional email. Are you sure you're ready for this? Dr. Bibu just poked me to say you're not cleared for return to duty. Whoops, wrong one. Dear Layla, while I respect Dr. Bibu and her medical opinion, I believe her return to duty is necessary. I can be of service to the assassins. Also, this assignment will give me something to do other than sit in my quarters and wait. Part of me kind of wishes I was playing as this Kiyoshi guy rather than Layla. Dear Kiyoshi, I getcha. You're the type who needs to work through your problems. I feel that too. Okay, consider yourself on board. I'll just tell Dr. Daycare that you'll be doing desk duty as my researcher, but feel free to get up from the desk and kick ass if you know what I mean. Thank you for understanding, Dr. Daycare. Dear Kiyoshi, and now we'll go through these in the right order. Don't tell anybody, but that was her nickname back at Abstergo. Okay, now this makes sense for the... That was her nickname back at Abstergo. She was in charge of putting kids through some super secretive branch of the Animus program, while teenagers, it's not that weird, they have pliable brains. Okay, and that's what happened in, I guess, this series of novels. And really, if I'd have known about the Animus when I was a teenager, I would have given my left arm and right cerebellum to get in there, Layla. So yeah, I guess if you want to know the story of that, read the novels. Dear Kiyoshi, don't... Oh, I see, thank you. Dear Dr. Baby, I know you're in charge of his treatment, but Kiyoshi's really keen on staying busy, so I told him you might let him be my backup for my next mission. It's a really short gig. I'll put him on desk duty as a researcher. No Miles as a candidate. Alina, she sounds cool, but he's still getting her up to speed. Quebec City's safest stone houses, and the trip will keep Kiyoshi out of trouble, you know? I see, thank you. Wait. Hold on. See, thank you. Yeah. Okay, last few here. Your proposal could be acceptable so long as he's properly supervised and performs only light duties. So I've spoken with William and gotten his blessing to join your mission. I'm a recent addition to your group, but I lived in Quebec City for many years and I speak fluent French. Is my cursor moving or so? Oh, because I'm moving it out of the way is why. Dr. Baby, you contacted me. She sounds like we're in daycare. You're a funny guy. Okay. I don't have any photos. Sucks to suck. I have audio, just one. Okay, at least there's not a lot to go through.
The spear of Leonidas. If I didn't work for the assassins, I wouldn't believe it. I'm still not sure I believe it. But a little luck and a lot of research later, and we've got ourselves the archaeological find of the century. At least, we would if I could publish it.
Oh, short ones this time. It's not going to be like an AC4 thing where you're listening to things for minutes on end. Okay. Whir! I can't whir. I love how I can access the in-game store from the PC menu here. Oh, that's good. Recommended for you, small pack. I don't know what you're trying to imply here, game.
Check my email.
I just did. Shut up. Oh, unless... Are there two different computers
Layla,
to do this with?
can you believe we're meeting Herodotus himself?
Okay,
I can.
probably not.
He sure does talk a lot.
Is there anything I can help you with?
What can you tell me about the book?
Does what I'm seeing as Cassandra match your research? I had to tweak the Animus to use what we have of the book as reference.
That book is a lost work by Herodotus. He basically invented the concept of recording history.
What's with that
And
floaty
other
effect
figures
that's
are
going down to
matching
the
up
bottom
too.
left corner?
Cleon, Pericles. The chance to see the past firsthand is
And these
why
smidges of
I
dust
joined
that you can see
Assassins.
clearly because of the projector
Most
there,
people
I guess?
talk about justice or leaping across rooftops, but history's cool too.
I've loved
Yeah, I'd
hearing
graduate with a
my
minor in
grandpa's
history.
stories about his grandpa
If
back
my
in Ireland.
university actually let me
He
graduate
was
with
an
2 minors, but it
adventurer and
won't.
a sailor.
I'll have
So
a minor in
by
history
continuing
and
the family
spirit
tradition,
alone.
I feel so lucky.
You make your own luck, remember?
Why do people keep
Okay,
telling me
Shay.
that?
What do you know about
So
Herodotus?
I've met Herodotus, but I don't know much about him.
He's brilliant. His histories are considered the foremost textbook of classical Greece. People have made their careers analyzing his words for some new perspective.
Holy
To
crap,
see
our
him
power
in
draw's
his
gotta
own
be
world,
insane.
Walking in the polis, and sorry, but he's kind of a hero of mine.
You can fangirl all you want.
Yay!
What? That's enough for
I'll
now.
leave you to your work.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Cool. Thanks. Command prompt. Anyone on the radio? Just in case I use it for thumbnails. Oh, that's a cool shot.
Well, no threats in view.
I'm glad we could work
Okay,
together.
so there's Kiyoshi.
I believe our working methods are compatible.
I know that some of these modern day stories will, despite the fact that we haven't had a character in them ourselves, like in Unity and Syndicate, will still end with like some battle cutscene between the characters that we know of. I kind of hope that this one ends with like some kind of battle and we see cool
Are you
Kiyoshi
upset about our
sword
last
stuff.
meeting with Abstergo?
I'd like
Sorry,
that.
I didn't realize those hills in Quebec were so steep. But hey, you and your Yakuza reflexes saved us. Sorry, ex-Yakuza.
We're all alive and our
I mean, it can
injuries
still be
have healed.
Yakuza
That's
reflexes without necessarily saying that he's still part. What do you think we should
Of
do
course,
next?
I'll return to the Animus. Then follow the trail Herodotus left to find the staff. But there's so many possibilities, so many choices. There's no way to know which ones are right.
Yeah, like we passed up the gay
You used to
one
run for the
before.
Japanese Brotherhood. What would you
Because
do?
again,
Take things one step at
if
a
I
time.
did go with that option, it seemed like the rude thing to do in the context, but hey, maybe next time. So yeah, so many
Thanks
choices.
for watching our backs, Kiyoshi. I'll leave you to your work.
I'll report in if Abstergo drops by.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Wow, we have a lot of equipment in
Third
here.
echelon. Or was it fourth?
Probably fourth. I don't
Too
know.
bad we had to leave before we could drink some more caribou.
I don't even know what that is. Here in Canada, I hear caribou. I know that is a very different context. Anything else
I
interactable?
wonder if the Fry twins would still recognize London. A rooftop's still a rooftop.
Maybe they could still Spider-Man around. Yeah, there's things. What?
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 So dumb. Hi. Okay, never mind. Can I interact with this? Sure can't. Alright, well, back we go, I guess.
Are you sure you want to go back into the Animus right now? I get the impression you'll be there a long time.
Yeah, I get that impression too. Yeah, I want to return to the Animus.
Ready
I've
to
done
go
enough
back to
reading.
Cassandra.
All right.
I'll play a little bit
I'll be
longer
watching
and
your
then
back.
P3 reload. I'll play for like one more part's worth here, probably. I don't know. Something like that. Rain of Destruction ability. Make arrows rain down on your enemies. Maybe I can check if it says it's going to unlock soon on Steam.